Hello! Yay! So I am finally back with a video, trying to get back on track with the whole YouTube thingy, being consistent, beauty blogger, whatever. Yeah, so last time we did a foundation video, how to apply a foundation. So I found it natural to continue with how to apply concealer. Especially today because I didn't sleep well and I have a red pimple on my forehead that we can cover up together. And I show you the tips and tricks how to do it. Yeah, so let's zoom into my under eyes to start. So I will not go into shades in detail, just gonna say that if you have a zit, you're gonna cover it up with a shade that is your skin tone or your foundation tone. And if you want to cover up your dark circles, you can do the same thing, or you can go half a shade, one shade, or maybe two shades lighter. Anything other than that will make you look like a drag queen. If you go lighter, it will brighten up the under eye, make you look more awake. I don't like to do that because I do like to do a more natural thing. When I do drag, I use white on the under the eye, so whatever. But if you want to do that, you can choose to do that. So as with foundations, concealers have different formulas. Liquid concealer, powder concealer, cream concealer, whatever you like to use under your eyes, what works best with you. Liquid concealer, they normally set down, so it's better for oily skins. Cream concealers are better for dry skin, and powder concealers are for very oily skin. The most known is the liquid concealer that looks kind of like in a tube, that comes like this. Normally they set down. They have different formulas, different finishes as well, so it's a very versatile product. There are cream concealers, which for example comes in a palette like this. They don't set, they never set. Cream concealers never set, so they are good for dry skin, but you have to powder them so it won't crease under your under eyes or any other places you use them. And there are powder concealers, which are very rare because people don't like to use powder concealers. They're very for very oily skin and they are kind of dryish, so I will use a liquid concealer under my under eye and a cream concealer for my pimple. I'll explain later why. Okay, let's zoom into my face. And as you can see, my dark circles, I don't have very dark circles, but my dark circles are not blue. A lot of people say they are blue. For some people they are blue, and they like to use something peachy or orange to cancel out the blue tones, make it cancel each other out and then brighten. My dark circles, maybe it's the same as with yours. My dark circles are reddish, orangey, reddish, browny, purple shade. So if I put orange in it, it won't cancel out. It would just make my under eyes look more orange. Why would I do that? Yeah, so I'm just using a normal skin tone shade for my under eyes. No color correcting here. I like to put the product on my hand because I don't like to swipe the wand onto my face and then contaminate the product and make it go bad quicker. And then I can control the amount of product I'm using because I'm putting it on my hand and then I'm taking whatever I want. If I just swipe it on, I don't know how much product is gonna go there. I can't swipe off the product. It's gonna be a mess, especially if your foundation already on. So I would like to use a very flat brush for this, going in, taking a bit, and then I like to start on the lowest part, applying it on the lowest part. I'm not going like triangular drag queen shape. I don't have foundation on it, so it's gonna look very unbalanced and weird if I do that. So it's only the dark circle area, the darkest. Like for example here, I don't have darkness here, so why would I put concealer there to make my skin look cakey? It's like there's nothing there, so we don't have to cover it up. So going, and I'm not going like into my inner corner, under my lower lash line. I like to stay away from it and then blend upwards instead of like starting there and putting down, because I don't want the most product to be under my eyes. I like the most product to be where the darkness is. Maybe you understand? So I have applied it, and now I'm gonna just take my brush and tap into it. I have this darker area here which I like to cover up when I do a full look, but for my natural look I like to keep that because it makes my eye look bigger, because it's like a shadow, a free eyeshadow. So if you have this You should try out if you like to cover it up or not. I don't like. Okay, and if I feel like the edges are blended up properly, I take my finger. Finger's like a sponge. It's dry most of the times, and it will absorb anything that's oily moisture. So I can kind of like set my under eye by using my finger without having to use powder. I'm just taking my ring finger because it's the most delicate, and I'm tapping into my concealer, going around. I like to move my head while doing it, so I have even less pressure. Moving my head, going over, going back and forth, only going this in this direction. I'm not dragging, because if you drag, you give yourself wrinkles. You have probably observed that I still have the darkness. You can still kind of see it. I kind of like that, because I like to have a more natural look, and if I cancel it out completely, I look too made up. I like to look awake, but not necessarily alive. No. If you look straight ahead, this eye is not, an eye bag is not covered up. It makes me look more awake. Did something, but still there kind of to make me look more like a human being and not like a Barbie doll. I'm not really okay with the amount of coverage this has. I want to cover up my dark circles even more, so I just take a little bit more product and apply it onto that area, same area, just building it up. I don't want to put like loads of product on the eye and make it not blend, but I just want to put on layers upon layers. This takes a bit more time, but it has a better finish in the end. If you just slap it on, it's not gonna look as flawless and airbrushed as building the layers. See? Just a bit more coverage, nothing too major. Now we gotta set our under eyes, because some people, not me, have wrinkles under the under eye, and if you have a liquid product or a cream product, it will go into the lines and create little weird collections of product, and we don't like that, because it will make you look like, oh, you're wearing concealer. We don't like that. So I like to use not a white powder, but a light powder for my under eyes, because I want to brighten things. Put it on a small brush. I don't like to use, like, for example, something this is too heavy for me for a natural look. If I use full on coverage look, I might use this, but I don't like, because I have very dry under eyes, and if I put a lot of powder under there, it's gonna look like a fucking burnt cake. I go over with my finger again, so just to tap out the creases that are made because I was talking too much, and now I'm just tapping down the product, tapping down the powder. Just nothing. Always tapping. Same with foundation blending, concealer blending. We tap the house. And putting on powder down there also gives a layer of coverage if you have a cut out powder. So here we go. We set the area. It's now totally fine. Nothing will move because we use the tapping motions. Use the powder very lightly. No much powder. Just the amount we needed. You see the difference? This under eye is not made. This under eye is made. So I have blended the way too light 3 shades lighter from concealer in a triangle shape under my eyes. I covered up my redness. This was on the outer corner. Put way too much product on there. My eye looks very small right now, even though I just used concealer because I covered up things that I shouldn't cover up. I used a concealer that's 3 shades or more lighter than my skin tone. Used a lot to do the triangle thingy thing. I had so much product on my face that I had to blend it down my cheek, down my nose, up my temple area. It made my eye look smaller because I don't have the darkness on the outer corner anymore. And now if I go out with just like this, just no foundation, just concealer, I would look hideous. Now I'm using a powder that is white, baked the under eye, and gonna show you in the close-up how it's looking. So I blended away the powder that I applied, and it looks very dry and powdery, and throughout the day the powder will suck up more moisture from my skin. It makes my eye look worse. So you look at this area, flawless, glowy, everything is okay. And you look at this, it could be better. So it's not even matching my forehead, and if I go out like that, oh my god, horrible. Forehead, we are on the forehead already. Let's cover up this pimple properly. Pimples, they are like wounds. The skin breaks there where the pimple is, so around the pimple is always a circle of dry skin. If I just slap on a full coverage product, you will see it because it will stick to the dry skin. To avoid that, I will use a small light layer of a creamy concealer, because the creamy hydrates it, makes it look less dry. As I said in previous video, you can't cover up texture. The pimple is erased. It is like a bump. If I try to erase the bump, I should like shave it off. I can't do that. I can only do something about the color. Because it's a red pimple, it's gonna attract attention. And that's actually enough for me. If people don't see the attention-seeking red, they will still see, if they speak to me for a longer time, come close to me, see that there's a pimple. That's normal. That's with every product. You can't cover up pimples. You can cover up scars, hyperpigmentation, but you can't cover up a raised pimple. I'm gonna use a very small layer just to cover up the color, set it with powder, and I'm good to go. Anything else would be too much. Done. That's it. I'm gonna blend out the edges, my finger. Apply a bit more product. It is gone. I just used a very creamy concealer, put it on. You can still see it kind of, because concealer matching is difficult. There are no as much shades as in foundation. You can use foundation to cover up just a small amount. Or you can just now put on a layer of foundation to blend it into your skin. You can do that if you would like to wear foundation. You probably still see that there is still the pimple. It is raised, it is dry, it is hurt, but you don't see the redness anymore, and that's enough. Now I zoomed out. Do you still see the pimple? It is gone for you. It's still there for me, but you can't see it because you're on a distance. I just cover up the redness. I'm gonna put on some powder, just a light amount, set it so it won't go anywhere. If I use a white powder now, just like under my under eyes, it's gonna be highlighted. Never use a lighter concealer or powder on your pimple, because you're gonna make it look lighter, and then people will see it. It's just like making the red white. You will still see the white. It's gonna be still there, the pimple. Just gonna good skincare, let it heal. Don't play with it, don't scratch it. It will make it look worse. So I'm at the end of the video. I told you everything I know. We learned how to naturally cover up under eye darkness, make it look natural-ish, not perfect. I showed you how I wouldn't do it. If it's still your thing and you like to do it, do whatever you want, but it's just what I would do. And I showed you how to cover up a pimple, what's the problems and risks with covering up a pimple. You will see the texture, you will see that it's raised, the dry skin. So if you like my video, I hope you don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. I like to share my knowledge with the people. So, see you on the next video. Bye! Tschüss!